Right. So, as the party was settling in, they heard a strange voice on the wind, shadows of some creature going behind a tree. Roland went to investigate and saw no trace of anything whatsoever, and the party tucked in for the evening.
Super normal night in the spooky woods. Just
Yeah.
nothing out of place here.
So, yeah, Roland nudges Artemis awake in the pre-dawn, and that's where we pick up the party. It's kind of a misty, overcast morning, not cold, not warm. And since they're closer towards the Cenarian border, the wildlife is subdued and the forest is mostly quiet. As Bolo's waking up, I'm just going to have him make a constitution saving throw to check about his ass.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
So I could help you with that 18 portent. I just don't want to.
Bolo wakes up with a really sore ass from not being able to post on his horse and a little bit of a hangover, and he's going to suffer a level of exhaustion.
Bow-leggedly, boots rolling. By time we hit the old trail, boykies? Although I do not relish mounting that beast again. Roland, I may have to ask you for some horse techniques.
Bolo will quickly show him the best way to mount by turning the stirrup.
You're rolling, Pete.
What? Oh, sorry. You know what I mean. Roland will saddle up and head out and just keep an eye out for a stream or a creek or something for the horses to water.
Regaining the road towards Senair, the party is again pressed in by a lot of the thickening foliage heading west.
We didn't work out a general plan yet, did we?
Not so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose once we reach the border area, we can work our way south. If they're traveling in large numbers, they're going to leave sign.
Artemis?
Oh, I was thinking that we could potentially track them back into Senair. And why simply report back and say, yes, there are monsters coming across the plains, and we could stop them ourselves. We'd be heroes.
Anyhow, lead on, brave ranger.
The horses quickly bring them to that forest threshold, and approaching said archway, the horses begin to nicker and frisk.
Gentlemen, I suggest we walk the horses from here. Keep a tight hold of the reins, like so, and I'll show them.
Yes. I know how to lead a horse, thank you. And I start letting the mage hand lead the horse. Roland, what are we doing here? I thought we were heading quite south from this area.
Back to the path that they not so long ago returned from with Coco in tow. Tracks visibly lead off towards from whence they had come.
I'm mentally reminding myself of the Featherfall spell and preparing for the chasm that lies ahead.
I don't reckon I want to cross that hole in the ground again, Roland.
A soft breeze blows. Artemis feels a bit of a welling up of magical energy, and as they're approaching that pathway, warm rain begins to fall for about 30 seconds and stops.
It could be an overly powerful or immature magic user creating these phenomena in this localized environment.
The party is journeying back down that twisting canopied path. Arriving at their harrowing hole in the ground, they see that some rough wooden planks have been laid down across the path, basically forming a kind of a rough bridge across the expanse.
I bugger that.
Yes, trolls live under bridges, everyone knows.
Wait here with the horses, and I'll quickly have a look up the path.
Roland proceeds across the bridge. Tracks he can see pick up on the other side. They weren't showing on the planks of wood, given their sturdy nature, but the scuffling in the dirt and grass appears on the other side. Roland, as quiet as the shadows, proceeds up and makes his way back to the clearing. No sign of activity save the tracks proceeding steadily northward.
What I'm going to do is quickly move up to just beyond where we were before, so I can see a little further.
He traverses the open clearing and gains the threshold of the hacked entryway to the pond area beyond. And as he approaches that threshold, feels the warmth, a sense of well-being emanating from that area.
He'll push on through.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Never saw Roland again. We'll name his horse Roland in his memory.
So Roland pushes on into the pond area.
And the boat's still there?
Yes, I didn't have time to erase the boat. There's still a little toy boat there.
Oh my god. If Artemis gets in there and sees that boat, he's gonna go nuts for like an hour trying to like figure out why there would be a boat in such a small pond. Artemis blinks a couple of times and looks around and says, "Do you feel we should go after him?"
Yeah, maybe we should. Don't you have a little friend who could do his own little recce?
Yes. Mulligan.
All right, we see Mulligan flying off down the pathway towards that threshold into that pond area. Artemis, roll a d100.
Oh no. No.
Okay. Artemis feels his connection to Mulligan disappear.
If our good friend has succumbed to that devious glide, perhaps we ought to enter ourselves, but fortify ourselves with a strange root that Didio gave us. Get Roland out of whatever dilly pickle he's gotten himself rolled around into.
Artemis is just like rubbing his temples. Fine.
No, it ain't right. It's tainted with weird elven magic.
Follow me, and one by one lead the horses across, flying back to the other side, picking up the other horse, and horses' reins. The mage hand can't pick the horse up physically, and lead them across.
I love it.
He shouts at the woods, "You take my bird, I cross your hole."
They reach the edge of the clearing with the stream and see the image much as Roland had, and they see the shining bright light of the area beyond.
I do not believe we should take our horses any further with us. If we take the horses in, they might be stubborn as a bolo to get out of there again.
Agreed. Let us secure the reins to one of these dead tree beasts.
Yes, tie them to our corpses of our foes.
Brilliant. So you tie off the horses to them, dead ends, and
Yes. Eat the...
The Tulsi.
so pulling out the small yellow and white powder, take a dose, and Bolo and Artemis immediately feel like a honing and a sharpening of their senses.
No, you don't get to tell me I take a powder and not tell me how I take it.
You take your powder however you want.
Insufflation.
Straight up the nose.
Classic. Hi, Artemis. Me hangover's gone.
This is good stuff.
Let's go eat some of that sunshine on the other side of the glade.
Yeah, so Bolo and Artemis proceed into the area.
What is the boat doing?
Yeah, emerging into the bright sunlight and the beautiful warmth. They see Roland off to the southeast, like looking at these tracks where the path wends off to the southeast.
Bolo, we may have to force him to take these drugs.
Oh, my thoughts exactly, Artemis. Let's tackle the lecker.
I prepare my second dosage of the drugs to force into Roland's face.
Is Roland still being stealthy?
Oh yeah, do we even see Roland?
That was the plan.
Sorry, backtrack. You don't see Roland.
Hi, Roland, where are you lecker?
It's almost as if he knows we plan to tackle him and force him to take drugs.
Well, let us proceed. Ever ready to tackle him, force him to take drugs.
Roland, friend, we are here to help you.
I'm just watching them.
He may be waiting for us up ahead.
Roland thinks it'd be very fun to just stand off to the side of the path and see if they'll walk right past him.
I think we'll walk right past him.
Absolutely, we'll walk right past him.
Once they're 10 feet away, just step out behind them and go, "Hello, friends."
Grab him!
yeah, immediately high-low him.
All right. So, Bolo, you're trying to spear Roland?
Spear?
Or
What? Tackle him.
all right, Bolo just tackles Roland to the ground.
I run up behind him and attempt to shove a fistful of powder in his face. He aggressively dusts the countertop before doing a pizza, only the countertop is Roland's face. I just right into his face.
Bolo, get off me.
We need to get out of here immediately. You owe me drugs, by the way. Let's go. He's saying this as he's pulling at Bolo's arm and trying to lead him out of here.
Bolo follows Artemis, dragging Roland by his cloak.
The party hears some noise behind them, and looking over their shoulder sees the ground start to become disturbed, and then skeletal arms start protruding up through the ground. Roll initiative. These skeletal forms, almost completely decomposing robes, pull themselves out of the ground.
Artemis is going to leap forward, crack his knuckles, and say, check this one out, boys. And he's going to cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
Artemis, roll a d100.
Uh-oh.
The hand comes out and like goes to reach for the skeleton and just crumbles into dust before it's able to grab the skeleton.
Artemis is going to scream like a girl and turn and run away. He shouts, "They're invincible. We have no chance. Pray to your gods."
It's your turn, Roland.
I'll drop a knee, string a silver arrow, take aim, and fire a silver arrow at this adversary.
The silver arrow cracks the sternum bones of the skeleton.
My favored enemy.
The skeleton in front of Bolo, it's just going to stroll right up to him and just brandishing its short sword. Bolo gives it a mighty crack across its shoulder, knocking its one arm off, crushing some of the bones. After receiving this blow, swipes at Bolo. Completely misses Bolo, off balance from this blow. This one tees up the short bow it's holding. Lets fly at Roland and plugs Roland in the leg for 7 damage.
Oh, damn.
Artemis's turn.
Artemis keeps running and is shouting at the top of his lungs, "My magic is no good here. There's no dishonor in running." He books it, and Artemis is terrified.
Well, they're just a little bonies, Artemis. We've smashed many of these dusty bastards.
Yeah, Bolo swinging at the skeleton, and it's pissed off. One arm, short sword, just stabs him in the wrist as he's swinging, and Bolo loses his axe.
Grimacing, Bolo will draw his long sword and hold his ground.
Roland, and your turn.
Roland, still on one knee, angry about the hit, fires the arrow, dead center of his forehead.
The skull just gets blown off the head,
You see, Artemis, this is how it's done.
and Artemis is going to have a turn.
Another 60 feet.
He's just sprinting down this path that's wending off to the southeast. Artemis is way down there.
Roland's going to, again with the silver arrow, take a beat on the second skeleton across the lake.
Roland lets fly with the arrow with such terminal velocity, just blows the skeleton apart.
He's yelling, "You see this, Artemis?" And with that skeleton dispatched, he's going to start switching from bow and drawing his double blades.
And it'll be Artemis's turn.
Another 60 feet.
All right, Bolo.
Longsword, this guy. Try to finish him off.
Crushes the bones and they scatter.
Without missing a beat, Bolo's just going to charge into melee range of the Skelly Boy, ready for the next round.
The other skeleton sneakily and creepily draws its short bow, training Bolo in his sights, and lets fly with an arrow. 8 damage.
Ugh.
Plugs Bolo in the solar plexus. All right, then it'll be Artemis's turn.
60 feet.
Bye,
Yeah.
Artemis. Bolo.
Bolo is going to grimace and break the shaft of the arrow sticking out of his abdomen and all to rally. Roland, steel yourself, we can beat them, Roland! And is going to swing again at the nearest Skelly Boy.
Its torso collapses onto its legs in a heap of bones at Bolo's feet.
Roland will, with his movement, start charging down the other one.
It tries to get its bow up to fire a shot off at him. Oh, it's going to plug Roland for 8 damage.
Ooh.
Roland goes down like a ton of bricks.
It's Artemis's turn.
Try to hide. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Bolo.
Bolo, seeing Roland go down, will say, "Oh, Roland, stop messing around. There's only one left."
Yeah, Bolo just like top to bottom, splits the skull a little bit, and then just pushes the skull and bones down a collapsing Jenga tower into the ground. Dead.
He will immediately sheath his long sword and attempt to resuscitate Roland.
You're able to stabilize him.
Having stabilized Roland, Bolo will call out, "Artemis, the situation has been dealt with. You may return to the boat you love." He will sling Roland onto his shoulder and start marching down the path. Just move in the direction he's last retreat.
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, you sound like a crazy devil robot.
You can probably hear Bolo, Artemis. I'll leave it to you if you reply to Bolo.
Mm-mm.
Artemis tries to go invisible and cannot.
Artemis. What are you doing, Artemis? You chose a significant distance to set up your ambush, Artemis. This one took a couple of arrows. If you could lay on hands or attend to the fellow.
I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. I have become not but a burden and a liability. There's tears streaming down Artemis's face at this point. My mulligan is gone, and wow, I can't. I was supposed to be invisible, and like it's ugly crying. Like there's like spittle on the lip and like tears rolling down his face, and I can't. If I touch him, he'll die.
Shh, there now, Artemis. Sure. And holding him by the hand and with Roland over one shoulder, we'll start guiding him back towards the opening in the glade. Why did we come back here?
They continue on back towards the pond.
Why are we back here?
We're leaving, Artemis.
If we were already away from here, why did you bring me back here?
You must regain your confidence. Roland must regain consciousness. The poor fellow gets cut down almost every encounter.
Large vines start to fill in a tight tangle of huge branches. Their path is barred.
Right before we pin it, can Artemis look at Bolo and just say, "Do you believe in God?"
Beautiful.
Oh my god, that was so much fun, guys.
Good stuff.
Par for the course.
James,
Yes.
what a fantastic way to spend the fight. Who does that?
So,
Fucking awesome. That was a boss-ass move, man.
nope, that's all I am. All I am is my spells, and like I can't. Nothing works. Nothing works. This place is awful, and he just wanted out.
Oh my god, guys, that was a romp. So much fun.
Thanks very much, Ben. That was a
Thank
kick
you.
ass. Thank you,
We
guys.
laughed, cried, we became a part of it. I cannot wait till next time.
Love you, Bros.
Yeah.
Love you, Bros. Okay, bye.
Good night, guys.